Ravenwood was steeped in folklore, dark tales of hauntings, disappearances, and a mysterious entity known only as the Caller. It was said that if you received a call from an unknown number at midnight, you'd better not answer. Those who did were never heard from again. Samantha, a college dropout struggling to make ends meet, didn't believe in superstitions. She had recently moved to Ravenwood, renting a small, creaky house on the edge of town. It was cheap, and that's all that mattered to her. One stormy night, while the wind howled and rain lashed against her windows, her phone buzzed. The clock struck 12 a.m., unknown number. "Probably spam," she muttered, letting it ring. But the ringing didn't stop. It continued for minutes on end, an incessant drone that seemed to grow louder. Frustrated and curious, she answered. "Hello?" At first, there was only silence. Then a faint, raspy voice whispered, "You shouldn't have picked up." The call ended abruptly. Shaking her head, Samantha dismissed it as a prank. But as she turned off the lights and lay in bed, her unease grew. Outside her bedroom window, a shadow shifted. She convinced herself it was just the trees swaying in the wind. Until the knocking started. 3 deliberate knocks at her front door. Her heart pounded. Peeking through the peephole, she saw nothing but darkness. No footprints, no movement. She locked the door, feeling silly for her fear, and returned to bed. But sleep was elusive. Her phone buzzed again. Unknown number. This time the voice was clearer. "Let me in." Chills ran down her spine. She hung up, trembling. Minutes later, a soft creaking noise came from the living room. The front door was ajar. Samantha grabbed a kitchen knife, her breath ragged, as she moved cautiously through the house. Every shadow seemed to stretch toward her, every creak of the floorboards amplifying her paranoia. In the living room, she found muddy footprints leading to the basement. The basement door, which had been locked earlier, now hung open, a gaping maw of darkness. "Hello!" she called out, her voice barely above a whisper. No response. Summoning every ounce of courage, she descended the stairs. The air grew colder with each step. At the bottom, she found a lone wooden chair facing a wall, its back to her. On the wall, written in what looked like dried blood, was the message, "Why didn't you listen?" A sound behind her. Spinning around, she saw a tall figure cloaked in shadow, its face obscured. Before she could scream, the figure lunged. Samantha woke up in her bed, gasping for air. Daylight streamed through the curtains. A nightmare, she thought, clutching her chest. She laughed nervously, relieved. But then her phone buzzed. Unknown number. With trembling fingers, she picked it up. "Hello?" The same voice, now chuckling. "Did you really think it was just a dream?" Her bedroom door creaked open, and the shadow stepped inside. The next day, the house was silent. The landlord, concerned after Samantha missed her rent payment, arrived to check on her. Inside, the walls were covered in messages written in blood. She answered, "You're next." The phone on the floor began to buzz. For those watching this story, remember, if your phone rings at midnight, don't answer. You might not wake up to tell the tale.